Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the Imperial Destroyer mod. Last time around, we went from taking St. Petersburg and then taking Moscow. And I believe I showed you guys setting fire to basically everything in the Moscow area and then retreating northwards. Now since then there hasn't been a lot going on that I'd want to show you, but as you can see, the Prussians went in, took St. Petersburg, and the Polish went in and took Moscow. So this kind of fucked the Russians over. More to that, my army managed to escape, and it marched up through here, and we had quite a short siege taking this place, and it sort of uncovered the fact that the Russians have a big navy here, mostly consisting of trade ships and frigates, so that could be a possible idea to steal them. But as this was going on, the garrison, or the problem with the garrison in eastern Sweden, became worse and worse and worse. I was able to kill thousands upon thousands of Russians trying to take the area, but slowly I wasn't able to replenish, because if you have, like, in one turn 16,000 Russians attacking you, I mean, it's gonna start to cut you down, and you're not gonna be able to replenish in the same way. So I decided, you know what? The Russians have lost a lot. They don't have a lot left. Let's see if they'll agree to just a white peace, which they actually did, even though they were on the brink of actually taking eastern Sweden from me. And that pushed all their infantry that they had left here. So you can see they have quite a few of them left, but a lot of these units, as you can see, are broken down. So they haven't been able to replenish them, and this is plenty of turns after the actual retreat from Sweden. So for some reason they're not replenishing their troops. This has actually become their capital. It's not going well. As you can see, the money is dwindling from this province. And yeah, so they're stuck here. We're still at war with the Polish and the Prussians. But for now, both areas are safe. The army is fully replenished. Same within this one, also fully replenished and up to speed. So this one's gonna make its way at some point down to St. Petersburg and attack there. And then the plan is, most likely, since the Russians are more or less beaten, rather than taking this army, doubling back and going for Moscow, I might actually do that. That might actually be better. But my other plan was to go straight for here, because at some point I'm pretty sure the Russians are gonna come back and attack me, and having all of this sort of station behind my lines when I'm going through here and I'm going through here doesn't seem like a good plan. So I think I need to scout a little bit what's going on here, if the Russians are building up anything here, or if they are going to. But I imagine if I go quickly, bust away all these armies, destroy them as they are broken down, all of them, I'll be able to cut away this and take the province. I'm pretty sure the Russians will yet again accept a white peace offer, and then I'll secure my sort of the rear, and I can focus on attacking from the front. And so the Prussians, if I take these two, they won't be able to replenish their troops or send more troops, or they'll have to send them by sea. And that is what this episode is going to be about. This is going to be a naval episode, if you haven't seen that by the thumbnail, which probably will be a navy ship. And the other army then marching in through Polish territory. So that's the plan for this area. Now we go on to what the episode is actually about. So as this has gone on, the thing is, I should say, after I end the turn with the after taking Moscow, I've played for 13, I think it is 13 or 14 turns. So I've been able to produce quite a lot of money, but also quite a lot of ships. And so I've been able to build this navy right here in this is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna smite the Prussian Navy. I mean, the Prussian Navy looks big because there's a lot of them there. But if you actually take a closer look, there's frigates and brigs, frigates and brigs, frigates and brigs, and most of it is trade ships, which aren't very good at all. I think the trade ship has like 12 cannons or something like that. I can actually quickly go ahead and look at what my ships have. I think it's something like that. Yeah, they have 12 cannons. And they only have 54 crew. Hopefully I'll be able to capture quite a few of them. But yeah, that is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna destroy the Prussian fleet, opening up my trade route, which means that we can get the profit back from all the slave trade that we're doing, which is, I mean, in Sweden's case, it's kind of a massive operation. And I'll imagine that my trade income will go from, right now it's 2,000, it'll probably double, probably more than double actually. It will probably go up maybe to 6,000. So that will put more infantry on the line. I'll be able to expand my navy even further to make sure that the Baltic Sea is under control, which I will be able to then stop any Prussian attempt to send troops to relieve this area as I go and attack that. So really now it's kind of everything is kind of turning around. So we're gonna move this one out. We do have a brig here. I want to protect this place just in case I lose. The thing is, we have, even if I move away this brig, I still have more battleships than the Prussians, because I have quite a few of these 40-gun frigates. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and then lots and lots of frigates. I'm not even sure the Prussian Navy will stand and fight me, but I imagine they will. So without further ado, let the navies crash into each other. I could, you know, since I was able to actually, they weren't stopping me there, I probably could have drawn in even more ships to fight in this. So the enemy will have a fleet of, well, let's see. This is, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 ships against my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, so it's not that bad. And especially since I've got bigger ships. But with that said, let's go straight into this battle. And I like the impression, the expression of the officers here, or the generals. Mine is kind of like, a bit of a troll face, I'd say. A bit of a troll face, like, haha, I've got them. While this guy's like, oh shit, my ship's on fire. So perfect to explain what hopefully is going to go down in this battle. But without further ado, let's hoist the sails and go to war. Ah, there we have it. Back on the high seas, as it should be. We should rule the Baltics. Our navy is back to show Swedish dominance, and with opening up this trade route, I will go from making something like, what am I now? I'm making like 2,000 in trade revenue. And I think, given the amount of trade I'm doing, I want to try as much as possible avoid saying what I'm trading in, but everyone knows. Anyways, would make 9,000. So that is, I mean, definitely something that we need to look into to open up the port. Anyways, what I wanted to do here is actually show you the replay of this, because, well, the battle dragged on for 30 minutes. And even though if you're really into naval battles, I don't think you want to see 30 minutes of naval battle. But as we can see here, let's go over a bit. So I've split it into 3 columns. we've got the big column over here, or big column. Well, it actually is a big column in double meaning, with a double meaning, or in a dual meaning maybe. It is the larger ships. It's the 48 gun frigates, but they're actually called the 40 gun frigates, but they have 48 guns, and it actually consists of 7 ships, while the other 2 columns consist of 6 ships, which is the smaller 32 gun frigate called 28 gun frigate, and there is a brig somewhere in here as well. There, Venus, the brig. And so this battle actually crashed on me, so I had to redo it, and in that way I sort of in the first one I accidentally set it up so I had one going on each side of the main one, and then I had actually the third one going in to block the reinforcement, which is turning up over here. But then for this one, as that crashed and I redid it, I sort of, you know what, we're going to concentrate everything we have and make sure that we can concentrate on a local area, create superiority, and win that way. And so, and also there was a quite difference in how the enemy moved. In the first battle, the enemy actually sort of stopped their entire column and tried to move everyone south, as you can see here. So everyone started moving south. Here they keep their column going, and I realized that, you know what, I can block the column by stopping my ships right here, and in that way that will stop up the entire column, and hopefully it keeps lagging. I'm not entirely sure if it's what that is, if it's me pausing in game, or if it's me sort of, or if it's just like, I don't know, if the game's about to crash. So first off here, I felt really confident, I should say, here in the beginning, as we're able to stop the enemy, and I'm able to have my fleet going on either side of the enemy with the fleet stuck in the center. And this is the ship that I actually stopped, which is called Honken, which I thought was funny. It's a strange name to call a ship. Unfortunately, this ship will actually sink at one point during battle. Maybe that's a bit of a spoiler alert. But this ship will sink. One thing that I realized going through the battle is it's incredibly easy to sink the Indiaman ships. And spoiler alert, I sink all of them besides 2. I wanted to capture as many of these as possible. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen, and instead I sink all of them except 2 of them that that surrender to me. I will try quite a few boarding actions, and that is why also I wanted to show the replay, because in the actual battle I'm constantly moving these ships around, and I don't have time to go in and look at some of the closer actions. So that is in one way. It's sometimes better to watch a replay like this. I know I've said that, well, for my Norwegian campaign video, or my campaign to take over Norway, it was, I think it was pretty, the response to me doing it in that way was pretty positive. The reason why I said that, you guys normally, oh, did you see that? Cannibal actually took this guy out. But the reason why I said people don't normally want to see that was because in my Napoleon Total War 3 campaign, I think I did that once, where I showed the replay of battle, because I can't remember if it was that maybe the sound or something I think, yeah, probably I forgot to record my voice over it, and so I redid it over the replay instead. And there were, in that video, there were quite a lot of people that was like, no, we'd rather see you live commenting over it. It's would be more exciting that way. Or I can't remember exactly why they wanted to see it, the live version of the battle. So, as the battle has progressed here, I've been able to lay quite a bit of fire on the Indiamans. But one thing that is, the only thing that happened early on here is that we've got this one. The brig has taken heavy damage and is routing. Well, he's wavering, and he's lost quite a bit of crew, 30 men, and he's lost 10 cannons that have been destroyed. But I mean, if you look at how they've stacked the guns on deck so close to each other, I mean, it's not surprising that quite a few guns has broken down on it. So at this point I wasn't so confident anymore, because I hadn't been able really to shake up all the Indiaman ships, or the trade ships as we can see here. And even though they had kind of broken free of my blockade here, so all the smaller frigate ships have broken free, and I only control the trade ships, which I've kind of locked in. And at the same time we've got the enemy reinforcements, and there's going to be quite a few of them trickling in. So we've got more of these frigates turning up. I was, however, able to have quite a few ships line up, as we can see here, ready to lay down fire across the front here of the ship, which is usually what they say the best area to fire at, because any shot will go through here and rip through the ship like this. And there's also, and that goes for masts and everything, so lining it up like this is very good. I think we've been able to sink a few. Oh, I think we missed a boarding action, or yeah, we just missed this boarding action. But I think what happened was that, yeah, they didn't actually board it because this one was sinking, so they called off the boarding action because this one was sinking. But this point is, I think I've ordered in a lot of... I realized that, you know what, the enemy is closing in here, lots of smaller frigates. I need to get rid of these trade ships, which is at this point more of an annoyance than a substantial threat. So I need to go ahead and try to board as many of these as possible, and that is what we're going to do. And I think this is the case where... let's see, where is the frig? Honken. I think this is where the Honken is taken down. It might be. It might not be. I don't even know where the Honken is. There it is. No, I think it actually is taken down by gunfire. But we've got a few boarding actions taking place along here, where we've got one of my smaller frigates, the Dolphin, or as it is a Swedish ship, it's called Delfinen. So the Dolphin, with the 73-man crew, is readying itself to take on the Prussian trade ship, the Naval. And yeah, we can take a closer. Ooh, nasty! Took a cannon shot right to the face. I like that with... I think it's in Empire as well, that they've got the drummer. I always like that in, what's it called, Master Commander. And he, like, beach 2 quarters, and they've got a guy drawing the drums, so the music starts and everything. And everyone prepares to run out the guns and so forth. So the Marines are crossing, and there's a bit of a fight. I don't think this is going to go on for too long though. And this one I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to succeed with. There's another one, I can't remember which one. We've got the Drottningholm, which is the Queen's Cove, not the Cove. I'm not entirely sure what you would call that whole peninsula, maybe? Not really, like a smaller peninsula thingy. Anyway, it's an area within Stockholm. Trying to gain up here. They've got twice the crew, so they should be able to take this one out. Let's see, we've got a few more fights going on here. Ah, the Venus, yes. The Venus is not going to go so great for. It's actually going to fail its task at taking over. So they, as you can see, they've got 26 crew, while the Settin trade ship has 36. So they are outnumbering my brig. And as we can see, the crewmen are jumping back onto the ship. They are abandoning the enemy ship. They're not going to be able to take it on. And then we've got another frigate called Sweden is taking on the Cormoran. I don't know how you want to say that. Very few ships actually set on fire. Here's one that is on fire, but I would say it's more sinking than it's on fire. But there is gonna be one ship that explodes. Unfortunately, it's one of the trade ships that has surrendered that will explode. So I wasn't very happy to see that one go, and it actually takes another ship with it and sets it on fire, and that starts to sink. So I wasn't happy about that at all. And also, one thing that will happen during this battle is that, let's see, I can't exactly remember which one was crew and no scrap. This is the Admiral ship, the Hedvig Elisabeth Carlotta, which is the Admiral ship. And this ship, as we can see, have taken quite a bit of damage, which I'd imagine a Admiral ship to do, since it's at the front of the column. And this one's actually going to sink during this battle, unfortunately. But as we've gone through the battle now, I don't know for how long we've actually gone 15 minutes in this battle. It's not like it doesn't look at this point like a super Swedish victory, which I wouldn't really call it anyways. I think it ended up actually as a horrific victory. Even though we only lost, I think we lost 3 ships. The statistics were we lost 3 ships, the enemy lost more or less everything, and we captured 7 of their vessels. Unfortunately, only 2 of them were trade ships, which were the ships that I wanted to capture. Here's another. We just took this one. Wait, we forgot one guy on board their ship. And he's good. That's pretty strange. Don't tell me he's gonna commit suicide by jumping overboard. Yeah, he is. Well, that was unnecessary. You could have just stayed there since the ship had surrendered, but no! I want to drown. But as we can see, it's kind of turning around at this point, or at least in this area. I've been able to take all these ships and we'll be able to sail around like this. And as we go to link up with this area, we'll completely blast these bastards to hell. We can see this one is caught in between 2 of my ships, taking a hell of a lot of damage. The drummer is still playing. There's the captain. Probably best to hide up here. You can see the destruction of what's going on. Not as likely to get shot to pieces. These are actually the ship that will explode, so I was pretty happy about this. 2 trade ships that were captured. This one, as you can see, kind of sinking. Didn't like that. And this one is on fire. And, well, this one's gonna explode in a ball of flames. And it's gonna set fire to this one, which doesn't really matter because this one was sinking anyways. But not too happy about that. So we've basically won on this side. There's gonna be a small remnants of fighting here. But we still got an intense fighting over here, and at this point I think is where the Admiral starts to faring really badly, where he takes a lot of damage and he starts to rout, and then he starts to sink. He's not actually gonna, as I recall, it doesn't actually die, but the ship will start to sink, or it'll surrender more or less, try to leave the battlefield, and then I'll lose it as the time ticks out. But it kind of felt like the battle was sort of turning maybe against me a bit, because even though I had won, as we can see, this side, I still had this side, and there's quite a few of Prussian ships, and then we have another 3 enemy ships turning up. So it really didn't feel like victory at this point. It felt very disorganized, and you can see a lot of my ships are down to yellow health on one side. Down crew, this one has lost its, I don't know what this mast is called here, but this one's been cut off. There's one ship that's gonna lose more or less all its mast. I think it actually is the Admiral ship now when I think about it. The Admiral ship, there it is. So the Admiral ship, you can see it's lost a lot of health, and I think it's gonna be completely dismasted at one point. And also it's lost a ton of crew, and as you can see, I mean, it's complete open gallery right here, just showing all the insides of it. So I definitely, you definitely don't want to be on this ship. However, it's still going pretty fast. This one just lost its main mast. Looks nice. Still, the fighting's going on. I think what we'll do is, let's see. There's still about, you know what? I've almost shown all of it. I was thinking, you know what? I'll show just a little bit of it, but it looks like we're gonna see most of it. Now, when I was actually fighting this, it really didn't feel like I was winning, but looking at it now, I can kind of see that, you know, I was winning, just given the amount of ships I have compared with what the enemy has on the field. And we got another trade ship, unfortunately, sinking. I want to capture these ones because I can't recruit anymore, and they're good because they don't cost any upkeep, so you get a lot of profit. You probably, I'm not entirely sure if they actually trade more than other ships. Obviously I can send ships that aren't trade ships to port to trade stuff, but let's see. The flame has started, so why don't we watch the flame a bit. We'll speed it up so we can watch the explosion. So there's no one on the ship at this point, and at a certain point the sails are gonna set fire, and then everything sort of goes into fire. I'm not entirely sure why it's sort of this, what's it called? This kind of color on the flame. It looks kind of strange. It doesn't look very nice. It looks sort of like it's some sort of chemical that's burning. Like it's, what's it called? Sulfur. It has a sulfur yellow to it. And there we go. Suddenly, the masts and shit completely get set afire, and any second now we're gonna have the explosions. I guess all the sails and stuff was set ablaze there, and any second now, I think there are actually people on the second ship. Come on, are you gonna explode? A second or two away, and explosion. There we go. Kaboom! The ship is gone. Back to the fighting. We can see the Admiral ship is now actually sinking. I guess I forgot about this. One thing, we'll see if we can see some more of this. The guys on top, or the guys up in the sails. Oh, there is the Admiral actually. Oh, he just got a heart attack. Or no, he's... Oh, he just fell over just because, I mean... he should have probably fallen off the mast at this point. One thing that I saw earlier was pretty horrendous, was there was a guy up there and he was going to jump off. So he planned on jumping off there into the water, of course, but he actually missed the water and hit the boat, and he got smashed against the deck. I'm not entirely sure if the Admiral is going to stand up anymore, or if he's just going to lie there in his weird position together with his friend. I know they say stuff like that about the Navy, but Jesus Christ. Right, so the Admiral ship has sunk. There's an enemy ship that has surrendered. Is sinking. The bottom of the sea. As we take a look throughout this, we can see that a lot of Prussian ships are surrendering, and there's very few ones actually fighting. I want to see the one that I was talking about that was going to be... I know there was one of my ships that got really dismasted. Like, it lost most of its sails. Or, I mean, it had, like, nothing left, more or less. There's a few ones. This one's one of ours. No, it's actually a Prussian one. It's been cut in the front, and then this one. But not as bad as I'd imagine. Also, it's kind of sinking, but at the same time, you can see it's sort of stuck there like a rock. Let's see, this one's lost quite a bit as well. It lost the front mast. And let's see, this one's lost the main mast in the middle there, opening up this area. This one's pretty torn apart as well. Most of this mast is gone, and the back one is gone. But at this point, I think we can see the writing on the wall. I still have a lot more ships left, and I still have some of my big ones, the 48-gun frigates, while the enemy has only these few ships left. I think we're actually going in for boarding action here, even though... I'm not sure. I mean, this ship is clearly sinking. So I guess maybe they pulled off the... Oh no, look at that. They're throwing some lines. Trying to hook the ship. I wonder what is up with the captains hiding up in the top masts. This captain, our captain, is hiding up there. And the Prussian one is hiding up there. I guess they decided to let them go. Oh, it's actually surrendered now. Probably will sink by the time the battle is over, however. Here's another captain that's taken two. Here's actually, this one has two. And both of them are up in the masts. I wonder what is up by them all being... everyone's climbing up to the masts. Look, there's two as well. Wait, this one, I was about to say this one has three, but... Imagine... Oh, there's the drummer. Standing on the top sail. Drumming away. But yeah, the writing is on the wall. The enemy has only 3 ships at this point, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This one's going to return. So I've got 16 ships against their 3. So there's no way. Maybe it was actually a Prussian ship that got completely dismasted. Because no, this one only has 2 masts, doesn't it? But anyways, as we see, victory is inevitable. Let's go back to the campaign map and take a look closer at the results of the battle, shall we? And here we are after the battle, looking at the statistics. As we can see, the Admiral ship actually sunk and the Admiral was killed. With that said, however, we were able to capture 7 enemy ships, totaling a prize money worth 4,474, which would do very nicely for my coffers. The thing is, I'd probably do better at actually keeping the ships, given the fact that now that my trade lane is open up, I'll probably make another 4,000 each turn. So what we're going to do is we're gonna add on all the prize ships to the fleet, and that means that I started off with 19 ships, lost 3 and gained 7. So I gained 4 ships after this battle, but it was one hell of a battle. It took me 30 minutes to do, and at this point I did record live, but I think it's probably better to cut it down and do it on the replay instead of doing it through the actual battle, because it just took so long and you start talking a lot of nonsense or repeating yourself. Really, I have a tendency to repeat myself, and then there were in a naval battle there are often moments where nothing is happening. Obviously you know this because you've already watched it, but I'm talking as though I haven't actually recorded it yet. But there we go, this is the battle and its statistics. Unfortunately, Admiral died, but admirals, generals, they're not really as important as they are in, say, Napoleon or other Total War games or later Total War games. They don't really mean anything in Empire, do they? Which is a bit sad, but that's how it is. Let's see. Where are the trade ships we've captured? We only captured 2 trade ships. The rest of them were frigates and brigs. Right. We're gonna move this navy and repair it at... You know what? Let's repair the Malmo. If I could fit all my ships there, I couldn't. I want to destroy this, attack this, and but then we're gonna move all the ships in. There's no way to repair it fully. Would cost me 6,000. What we're gonna do is we're gonna repair the trade ships so I can get them away as quickly as possible. But then we'll get the navy situated. Doesn't look like we'll be able to open up the blockade here, which means that there's no point really of sending this one. We can send this army forwards though, to start preparing for my plan to attack and sandwich. This one's gonna be hard, so I think it might be... Once the navy gets here, I can take a look at what's going on here. I could maybe I could start the attack by going here and then going there, and then both armies will join up, messing up this place. But that will be for later episodes. So I hope you enjoy this naval battle, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!